Hello and welcome. Today we are going to look at a few different YouTubers and see which ones you might be interested in watching. So the reason why I chose these four is because I've reviewed at least one of their videos. Now, one video isn't that great of a sample size, but I have watched more of their videos that I haven't reviewed, and so I've gotten a pretty good feel, I think, for like what they're doing, what their channel is about, and how you might enjoy one person's content over another. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Dr. Zach. Grab a cup of tea and join me. All right, so let's start talking about who you should watch. I would say out of the four, the two that are most heavy in the theory and analysis side are 12 Tone and Adam Neely. Okay, both of them have some kind of entertaining aspects to their videos, but they're very different in the way that they use entertainment. So in 12 Tone, he does a bunch of drawings, and his gimmick is kind of elephants, right? So he has like these elephants doing different things, and he draws on staff paper. So then he can also sometimes write out short musical examples, and like that is all very fine and good. I would say that 12 Tone is more likely to go into the complexity of something and kind of go off on tangents and really kind of get into theory. You probably want some basic theory level knowledge before you watch some of his videos to get kind of the most out of them. For Adam Neely, his kind of entertainment angle is that he also includes some background and history and kind of these other examples. He usually tries to have like a music example, whether that's him playing or some sort of other kind of live performance. So he uses a lot of different, visuals and audio and everything to make his videos come together. It's entertaining that way. He does also get into the analysis. His videos tend to be focused around one really densely packed kind of thesis statement that he says somewhere in there. Usually it's best to try to pick it apart because in my opinion, the information he's giving is very straightforward, and then he gets to his thesis statement, which he, I think, really spends some time trying to craft, which is great, but it ends up being really complex. And so unless you have, again, a little bit more theory knowledge, then you probably won't know quite what that thesis statement is trying to say, or it might just kind of go straight over your head as kind of like a word salad type thing. But they do make sense. I really pick them apart because I don't think his thesis statements fit kind of the rest of the video, and so that's where I have a problem with it. But all the information he gives is generally good. The thesis statements do make sense if you break them down. And that goes to say, with 12 Tone and Adam Neely, I say 90, maybe even 98% of their stuff is great. I think, at least in Adam Neely's videos, there's usually something that I don't agree with, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. There are sometimes things I do think is wrong, but again, that's just kind of coming from my perspective. So you have to take all that stuff with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to say any of these YouTubers are bad. I'm just trying to come at it from my perspective, which is high-level analysis of music, so we can really discuss some of the nitty-gritty of pieces and songs, etc. So those would be the two I would say if you are interested in learning a little bit more kind of basic music theory, or just like learning the background and that type of stuff, go watch Adam Neely. And he does solid research. He usually includes a source if needed. And then if you want to get into more nitty-gritty music theory, I would say go and watch 12 Tone. But his stuff is going to be, I think typically he just kind of jumps a little bit deeper into the pool than Adam Neely starts. Adam Neely, I feel does a better job of making the music theory kind of accessible to a really wide audience, which is also why I think he has more followers than 12 Tone, is because 12 Tone's videos are a little bit more specialized. So then we get to Rick Beato and Two Set. Now, first, before we get any further, I want to say huge apologies to Rick Beato. His one video that I reviewed, I mispronounced his last name the whole way through, and that was completely a mistake. That was just my bad. I should have done better than that. But nonetheless, I'm sorry for that. If you go and watch the video, you'll see what I mean. So just wanted to apologize for that. First and foremost, Rick Beato is a more music appreciation kind of channel. Okay, so when he has this what Makes This Song Great series. What he's doing is he's taking songs that were popular or pretty well known, and he's peeling back the layers to show you the different parts of the song. He also does, a bit of the analysis. That's why I reviewed the one video that I did, was because I disagreed with his analysis. So I thought that would be an important thing to talk about. But let's look at a couple of comments from his most recent, as of this filming, video of what makes this song great. So this comment here says, guys, let's be honest. The really cool thing about Rick's What Makes This Song Great series is that he doesn't actually explain the songs, but totally celebrates them. And he does it like the 12, 14, or 16-year-old music fan we all were at the age when we just discovered music as the big thing for us. Rick's videos are sometimes a time machine, bringing back the enthusiasm and excitement of our past. And no one does that better than Rick. I agree. This is what I'm saying. It's kind of like from the music appreciation kind of standpoint. And I think this other comment who says he's disagreeing, it's kind of actually reinforcing this idea. So somebody replied to that initial comment saying, allow me to disagree. To someone that knows nothing about music, nothing, okay, and has never played an instrument, he does a great job explaining the songs. I fall into that category. I'm about the same age as Rick and had a completely different experience than he did growing up. To me, they were just songs on the radio. Some I liked, some I didn't, and some I really hated. Frampton is a guy I couldn't stand, and although I was in college in the Seattle, during the 80s, I didn't get Pearl Jam, and I don't see why anyone likes that grunge sound. It sounds terrible to me. But I fell in love with Rick's channel when I came across his What Makes This Song Great on The Doors, number 58. I had never had the song, had is missing, broken down the way he did it. I found it fascinating, and I really got into his channel in a big way. And yes, you're right. When you look at that breakdown of Touch Me, you can tell Rick really likes it and gets into the music. And that is a big part of what makes it so entertaining to watch. Okay, so there's that entertainment aspect. I also found myself getting into the Doors in a way that I didn't or couldn't have done when I was younger. So yes, you're right about what Rick does in terms of celebrating them. But for me, he opens up the music in a way that I would have never seen on my own. So this is why, unless something changes or somebody really wants it, I probably will not do another review of a Rick Beato video. Because, like I said, from my perspective, what I'm interested in is high-level analysis content. That is what I'm interested in reviewing. And watching a few of these videos, it's clear that what Rick is doing is just kind of peeling back the layers of the song to show you, the cool and interesting things about it and to increase the appreciation for the song. And he does it with this kind of enthusiasm that is infectious, right? So I think that's great. I mean, if that's you, if you're somebody who just hears these songs on the radio, has known them, thinks, oh, well, they're nice songs, they're good songs, whatever, then Rick's channel's for you. I mean, he does a great job. I mean, really, an outstanding job. There's a reason why he has so many subscribers as he does. It's because he's really good at this, okay? It's just not what I'm interested in, and I think that was kind of reflected in my review video about him. I do stand by my analysis that it's different from his, and I also stand by that I don't think he really actually tells us what makes the song great, because he's not comparing it to other songs. He's not really going deep into the song's construction, but once I posted that video and watched some more of his videos, I realized that wasn't the purpose of this series. The purpose was from that, like I said, music appreciation kind of standpoint of getting people excited about music. And he does a great job of it. So, again, hats off to Rick Beato. It is just not my thing. So I probably won't review another one of his videos. Along a somewhat similar line, I'm not going to review another two-set video unless something changes, because two-set really leans the most on the entertainment side. So two-set is all about, using music as a medium for comedy. And they are excellent musicians. They are really, really top-notch, I would say probably world-class musicians. So you're not going to be getting, some sort of subpar content just because it's comedy. But rather, they are so good about using music, making classical music accessible to people through comedy, which is, again, really awesome. So the video I reviewed for them was their takes on Squid Game. And I thought they would get into a little bit more analysis, because the video title was something like, why Squid Game is God tier. And so it's they're going to give us a breakdown. They're going to give us all these things. And again, they just kind of did surface level stuff. They didn't really dive deep into any of the topics or points that they tried to make, but they were funny. Like, I was laughing during their video. And I realized that the purpose of that video was, again, to create some sort of humor based content that also was drawing awareness to classical music in pop culture, right? That's not an analysis video, which is what I'm interested in. And so I mentioned that on that video. I was like, well, I just expected a bit more. I was a little bit disappointed because I thought they would give a really great, they're great musicians, so I thought they would have a great perspective. But what they're doing is awesome. If you like kind of like comedic stuff, humor, and you like classical music, or maybe if you don't like classical music, this would be a great way to start experiencing classical music through the kind of like lens of humor. Their stuff is great. They're creative. They do a bunch of different stuff. They have really great personalities. So like if that's your thing, I would definitely recommend it. So just to kind of recap here, if you are interested in getting to know a bit more about music theory, but also want to know some history and background, go watch Adam Neely. If you are interested in like really digging deep into some theory topics, I'd say go watch 12th Tone. If you want to just gain more appreciation for some songs that you might have heard of or have known for quite a while here, then go watch some of Rick Beato's What Makes This Song Great, because he does a great job of like peeling back these layers and showing you all the different aspects of the song. And finally, if you're like interested in some classical music humor type content, I would say go and watch Two Set, because they do such an excellent job incorporating humor and classical music together. Now, one kind of bonus creator that I would recommend is actually Sideways. He talks a lot about film music, and his breakdowns are incredible. I mean, there are people who comment that they've never had any sort of music theory training or whatever, but they can like kind of follow along or at least enjoy his videos immensely. And I think it's great. I mean, if you do have some of that background, you really like can appreciate what he has to say. So I would say if you are into theory, if you're not into theory, whatever, go watch the Sideways channel. It's awesome. Like his content is truly incredible. His videos have like over 1 million views. Like go check out Sideways. No matter what kind of music content you're interested in, he is bound to have something that I think you would enjoy. So that'll be all for today. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. I also have a Patreon. I would appreciate if you check that out. Thank you all for your support, and we'll see you next time.